Hey everybody, this is Ryan Mendenhall with Future House Publishing. Welcome back to another exclusive Q&A with an author from our wonderful family here at Future House. Today we are joined by Josi Russell. She hails from the Four Corners, not the Four Corners, that's what it's called, Josi?
Yep, the Four Corners area of Utah.
Four Corners, and you're in the Utah part, and you have been in 4 states at one time.
Yes, I have.
Awesome. And you didn't have to do any awkward stretching or dismembering of body parts to achieve that, right?
No, right in 4 states at one time with the greatest of ease.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, you guys, Josi has published with us today one awesome book. It is called Caretaker, and this is the cover. Josi is going to talk to us a little bit about Caretaker today, the premise, the main character, and what she likes about it, what her favorite part in writing it was. So we're going to jump right into those questions. And Josi, I just want to start with a little background. So this book is a sci-fi book, right? It's not about how people take care of elderly members of their family, right?
It's kind of about that. No, it is a sci-fi novel. Definitely sci-fi, spaceships, aliens, all the great stuff. Yeah. And
so what is it about sci-fi that pulled you in? Was it a tractor beam or was it something else?
Exactly. Just like a tractor beam, I think that the most interesting thing about sci-fi for me is the juxtaposition of the possible and the probable. You know, a lot of my stories start at the edge of our current knowledge. I love to read about what researchers are doing in medicine or chemistry or physics, and then I love to think about where we go after that, where we could go if we followed a particular one of their ideas. And for me, there's a real excitement of coming to the end of our current knowledge and then just taking that next step and going into the unknown, because really, you could find anything there. So I think that's what I love about science fiction.
You know what? I think that's what I love too. I love watching reruns of old shows that we now have technology because somebody planted the seed for those ideas in popular culture, and then somebody else went, that would be really cool if we actually had that, so cool. That's really cool. So Josi, I'm going to read a section of your book, and then I'm just going to ask you a question about it. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
At first, after the ship had assigned Ethan to be caretaker, he had shut. Sorry, let me do that again. This is great. At first, after the ship had assigned Ethan to be caretaker, he had sat on the floor of the corridor outside Arya's chamber and wept. He glanced at his wife now. Her distended belly stretched the fabric of the stasis suit, and he thought of the baby inside, also waiting for awakening. He wondered if it could hear the deep rhythmic sound of the ship. Closing his eyes for a moment, he listened to the whoosh of circulating air, the thrum of the stasis system, and when he listened very closely, the almost imperceptible whirl of the SL drive propelling them farther and farther from home. Josi, where are these guys going?
Well, they're on a stasis ship headed to a new colony called Minea. It's a colony of Earth, and they're headed there. It's going to take them about half a century to get there. So he's got a long trip ahead of him.
Wow. And so I'm assuming that the stasis machine is something that helps him survive during this time of this half of a century.
Yeah. So every passenger except Ethan is in a stasis pod. They're contained in these pods, and they're asleep essentially for this whole time. And that makes it possible to travel, these great distances and wake up in a new world.
Well, that's very cool. What is it about? So Ethan is your main character, right? Ethan Bryant.
Right.
He finds himself kind of thrust into a situation on this spaceship. Why don't you talk to us about, like, what that circumstance was that put him there, and what this struggle he goes through as he's dealing with, being put in a situation that he didn't particularly welcome or want.
Yeah. So this scene is right at the beginning of the book, and it is 5 years into the journey. So Ethan has been awake and alone for 5 years on this ship, and like I said, he's looking at pretty much the rest of his life on this ship, watching his wife, his beloved sleep, and being alone, and so he is starting. He's really at the beginning of this journey. He's a great character, I think, because he doesn't really want to be there. Like you said, he's thrust into this situation that he doesn't really know how to handle. He thinks, he's doing his best to figure it out. He fights it. He tries all that he can to change it, and it's not a situation that can be changed. And so then he does his best to figure out how to do this for the rest of his life. And I think what I really like about it is that he's kind of like all of us. We all make these sacrifices for the people that we love. We all try to figure out how to make the best decisions for the people who are important to us, and that's what he's doing throughout the novel. He's also a fun character because he's very intelligent. He's a linguist, and he has a unique way of solving problems and looking at things. And so I think that makes him kind of interesting as well.
Awesome. So it's kind of like a castaway in space, huh?
Yes, very much. Good analogy.
Oh, cool. So you mentioned Ethan being a linguist. I want to show everybody the language that you have in the book here. Can you see this?
I am not seeing your images.
Okay, let me do this one more time, and I will show everybody the language. Can you see this? This is your language, a word from your language called Zardan. Is that right?
Yep, Zardan.
And here's another one. And this is very interesting. These are very unique things. We don't have a language like this. So tell us about Zardan. What is this language, and what's it all about?
Well, Zardan is a dead alien language, and it happens to be, like I said, it happens to be Ethan's main field of study. It's based on parabolic curves. So just like those that you showed, these parabolic curves that are beautiful, and they can be so many different things, and they come from equations. There are equations that connect to them, parametric equations that connect to them, and so you can write the language in more than one way. You can write them with the symbols. You can also write the equations, and you can find the symbol from that. And each symbol equates to a word in a human language as well. So you can kind of translate it as well. And in the novel, Ethan studies this language. It's dead alien language, and so it's not really a popular field of study in his world. But he loves it, and it turns out to be fairly useful. So. And
that's all you're going to say. Okay, cool. You said that this language was one of the favorite parts about the book that you just wrote. Was it the only favorite part about the book, or what else do you like about? What did you love about putting this together?
Well, like you say, Zardan was one of my favorite parts, partly because it really beautifully marries my field of study, which is English, And then the field of mathematics, which is another of my great loves in life. I often joke that if I hadn't become a writer and a teacher, I would have wanted to be a prime number theorist. So I love math as well. And I love sort of the beauty of it. And I love how these types of curves, help us visualize what's going on in mathematics. So that's one of the reasons I love these. But other things that I loved about writing the book, I love going to new places. I love traveling. I love seeing new things. And I think that that's what I really love about writing, is that you can go to a new place. You go to a place you've never been before. You may never be able to go, may not even exist. It's very much like what I love about reading. It's very much what readers will, I think, understand, is going to a new place, meeting new people, and becoming new in the process.
That's great. That's awesome. So Josi, are you working on something else right now, or what's currently on your plate?
Well, I have a couple of great projects right now. I'm working on a new sci-fi novel, of course, that explores some of the future of medicine, some of those next steps of medicine. And then, of course, I'm finishing up the sequel to Caretaker as well. So
that's what I like to hear. Awesome. Both of those sound really cool. And you guys can check out Josi's book today. The link's down below you can grab a copy. You can also check out Josi's putting together a cool if you want to learn more about the language she created, Zardan. And last but not least, I'd like to introduce you guys to the BookBot. Say hello, BookBot. Hello, everybody. Oh, you guys could see me do that, huh? Well, he doesn't talk unless someone's inside, but the BookBot gives away books and gives away prizes. So you guys can look down below to see how to team up with the BookBot to win a prize today for the launch of Josi's book, Caretaker. So thanks so much, BookBot, and thanks so much, Josi, for joining us today. And we're so happy to have you part of the Future House Publishing family, and we're happy for you, listeners and readers, to get to check out her book. So go ahead and do it right now, or you're thinking about it. Don't wait. Don't ask anybody. Just go do it. Thanks, Josi.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks, everyone.